Somebody say yeah. I'm saying yeah. Oh, let's start it off. What's happening? What up? What it do? That's for sure. But everybody in my city say, what up, doe? What up? What up, doe? What up, doe? What's going on, y'all? Salute, salute, salute. Let me read my copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, 1976, allowance is made for the fair use for purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research, y'all. Shout out to my replay gang. Leave yours truly in the biggest M I know a comment. Let us know what you think. Just or say what's up, whatever it is. And to my bushwatchers, cause they full. They full. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? Hope y'all doing good. Hope y'all prayed today. Hope y'all put your armor of God on. Hope y'all fed your spirit with some fruit if you're lacking it. Yeah, and some more. So do some more, and everybody, as you come in and out and sit in them bushes, take whatever your finger you would like, and by golly, real smooth like, real cool like, tap on that thumbs up button for yours truly in the biggest M I know. Hell yeah. Hoping you all nothing but greatness, happiness, and blessings. Shell baby, salute, salute, salute. Good afternoon, JJ. Blessings. Salute to you. Salute to you. Thanks for pulling up on yours truly in the biggest M I know. So yeah, let's see what's going on in America, y'all. What's going on in good old America? This is America. This is America, y'all. Have y'all seen America lately? By golly. Woo! Prayers for America. Prayers for Detroit.
Right now, the new questions about a woman who was found dead in the cold. Macomb County Sheriff investigators suggested she died from exposure.
But tonight, the family of Monique Cook is opening up to us about the final hours leading up to her death.
7 News Detroit reporter Randy Wembley sitting down with them tonight as they share their heartache and questions they hope someone will soon be able to answer.
The Macomb County Medical Examiner's Office is still working to determine how exactly Monique Cook died.
No shoes, no coat, laying on her back. She would never lay down and die in the freezing cold. That is not my mother. That's not of her character.
Antonia Cook says the circumstances surrounding her mother's death do not add up. According to the family, the 53-year-old left her sister's East Point home in the middle of the night Monday to go be with a friend in Mount Clemens. A Priority Waste driver discovered Cook's body behind this building early Tuesday morning.
I believe that they were maybe having a drink or something together. That's what they did. And something happened in between that time.
Antonia says her mother's face was swollen and her lip was split.
She didn't leave her sister's house like that.
She and 2 of her sisters went to the scene after their mother was found and say some of her belongings were still there.
There's a pair of pants that have blood on them, and the knees have drag marks on them.
They need to come get this evidence that my niece and them went up there and got, that they left on the scene.
My niece had to jump in the dumpster and got my sister's stuff.
And as for Cook's friend,
he hasn't showed his face, reached out to anybody, nothing.
The Macomb County Medical Examiner's Office says Cook's autopsy results are still pending and the toxicology analysis is underway. Cook's death raised urgent concerns about the plight of the unhoused as temperatures dropped to the coldest of the season. But her family says she was not homeless, but rather a woman who fell on hard times and would stay with different family members as they helped her get back on her feet.
They put her off as just a homeless woman died behind a dumpster, and that is not Monique's story.
Now, as the family waits for answers, they hold on to memories.
My mother is love. Love.
Sweet. So sweet. We'll give anybody anything.
The Macomb County Sheriff's Office says this remains an active investigation, and Cook's family says until they get answers.
crazy work, but look at that family standing on business, demanding answers. Salute, yeah. And this is in, Mount Clemens. That's Macomb County. This is, our area. But yeah, shout out to that family. That demanding answers. I like the words. Demanding answers. Shout out to them, Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, and we got 11 people up in this motherfucker, and we got 11 thumbs up. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Thanks for supporting yours truly in the biggest MINO. Shout out to y'all for supporting me. That's what I'm talking about. It's all love over here. It's all true over here.
They're left waiting for the closure they desperately need. I'm Randy Wembley, 7 News Detroit.
All right, Randy, some very interesting details there.
Be prepared this back-to-school season with Learning.com.
January is National Human Trafficking Awareness and Prevention Month, shining a light on a crime that often hides in plain sight. We spoke with a survivor who says her abuse began when she was just 4 years old. A warning tonight. Some of the details you're about to hear are disturbing.
My mom, unfortunately, at the time was an alcoholic, and it was very easy to drug her. He would make drinks for her, and then late at night he would take me to another location. It was his father's house, and there'd be multiple men there.
Samantha Mansfield says this happened weekly from age 4 to 8. Her mom's boyfriend was her trafficker.
I thought I was supposed to serve men and women in a certain way, and that was my worth.
This led to a life of drugs and being trafficked twice more by men she trusted. Then it all came crashing down.
I tried to kill myself. I couldn't handle it anymore. I couldn't handle having to do all they call them dates, all the different dates with men and women, and it was too much for me. So I attempted suicide with an overdose of heroin and Xanax, and I was found naked on the side of the road.
6 years sober, now employed at Sanctum House in Oakland County, a safe house for trafficked women. It's affiliated with Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network, or DWIN. Samantha is there after these women have endured the worst.
They've been held in cages. They've been held and chained in basements. They've been tortured. It has been as bad as you could possibly imagine. It is.
Samantha says all she wants this month is people to get educated on how to spot the victims.
I have a lot of night terrors still. I don't think those ever go away, but they get better with time and with therapy.
You notice that we blurred Samantha's face. She asked us to. Still fearful her traffickers are still out there and they might find her again. Now, if you think you may have information about a possible human trafficking situation, help is available. You can call the National Human Trafficking Hotline. That number is on your screen. Advocates are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to take reports and offer help. You can also text 233-733 to reach the hotline.
Spinning on Fanatics Casino, explained by Patrick Schwarzenegger, while also spinning.
Only Fanatics Casino has fan cash spins.
The Dauphin County District Attorney's Office charging dozens of people with scheming to misuse SNAP benefits to the tune of $80,000. This is an operation that started in 2023. It involves a Steelton store called Quick Stop Convenience. Here to talk more about it right now, our digital content producer, Grace Miller. You talked to the DA about this as well. So how are they pulling this thing off, according to the DA?
That's right. So this convenience store, actually, it kind of breaks down into two different levels, right? So at the time that this all was found to have happened, the convenience store was actually not even licensed to be giving out or, to be accepting SNAP
there's
transactions.
Phase 1. Right.
So there's that. They are accused, that owner, of somehow illegally obtaining point-of-service systems from actually giant food store locations across the state, using those point-of-sale systems, having people come in, they would swipe their EBT cards, punch in their PIN, but they found that they were actually exchanging those benefits not for the food items, which like they're supposed to be, but instead for cash, which is illegal.
Did they know it was happening, the people that were doing it?
It seemed
so they were in on it together.
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
So part of the investigation, according to the documents and DA Franchardo, who I spoke with today, is that they had state troopers undercover going in, kind of doing these transactions themselves. They said that they observed a lot of patrons walk in. they can access the database, see that said person paid $500 for something in there, but they're coming out with nothing.
Okay, yeah.
So that kind of ticks them.
How many people are we talking about here who are in trouble?
Yeah, so according to the documents, again, it cited that around 70 customers were supposedly involved in this. And, you know, I think they said that it was around $80,000.
When you put it all together. This is going on for a while. I mean, they didn't catch it right away,
2023.
right?
Yes, exactly. So they started investigating in 2023, but the documents say that it actually had started in 2022.
Oh.
So we knew about the
Crazy work, PA. You better use them stamps the way you're supposed to use them, you know? What the hell? But hey, I just want to let y'all know. PSA. On the 28th, Kelly Bryant will be back in court in Pontiac in person. Her pre-trial is starting on 1/28. Yours truly will be in the courtroom, and it will be her pre-trial starts at 1:30. In Pontiac, I will be in the courtroom covering Kelly Bryant's story. It's been a long time coming. No, I didn't forget about you, Kelly. I didn't forget about you, Kelly Bryant. And yours truly will be in the courtroom, and I will be coming to bring y'all the story. So, that'll be on Wednesday, 1:30. Kelly Bryant pre-trial begins in Pontiac, Michigan, in front of Judge Brenna. Yeah, I just wanted to let y'all know. So Wednesday after court, I'll be bringing the story. I'm ready to hear what's gonna happen. I hope she gets life. But we got to remember, Miss Bryant has been out here on bond for some months now, living her best fucking life. So I wonder what's gonna happen at court. But I'm ready. I'm ready for some answers. Justice for those babies. Yes, they're still here, but we heard they were abandoned by their mother for 4 years. They couldn't walk. Their toenails were so long. That's diabolical. And I found it very interesting because we broke Kelly Bryant down at Monster. I think it was Monster number 8 or some shit. I can't remember what demonstration, but we broke her down. You know, we broke her down to her sizzy socks, you know. And I had some the transcripts, and I found it very interesting on the people that they had testified. The children were not involved in the testimony. The doctor and the 2 investigators. That's it. That's all. And we also know from the transcripts that Kelly Bryant, the reason why she was let out on bond and helped is she knows someone in that's Oakland County. Oakland County, who is a very, very known person to the community, wrote a letter on behalf of Kelly Bryant. But yeah, so just letting y'all know, yours truly will be in the courtroom covering Kelly Bryant's story when she's back in court for her pre-trial on Wednesday. Pull up on me. I just wanted to let y'all know. Let's keep listening. What's going on in America? Because this is America, you know? This is America.
About it. Meet Base 44, a complete.
Prosecutors now confirm a security guard will not be facing criminal charges in the deadly shooting outside a Southfield lounge. Thank you so much for staying with us. I'm Rudol Sinaida. Alexandra Fields died and another woman was injured in the shooting outside Bloom Lounge. 7 News Detroit reporter Carly Petrus explains the decision not to file charges in this case.
The fatal shooting happened right here in this parking lot, right outside Bloom Lounge in Southfield. Now police are releasing new details about what led up to the violence and a decision from the prosecutor's office.
The Oakland County Prosecutor's Office determined that no criminal charges will be issued involved in this incident.
A decision from prosecutors as Southfield his detectives wrap up their investigation into a weekend shooting. year-old Alexandra Fields and sent her close friend to the hospital.
Our thoughts are with the families, loved ones, and community members affected by this incident.
The tragedy happened early Saturday around 2:35 a.m. in the parking lot of Bloom Lounge. Chief Barron outlining what their investigation revealed, saying it began with a physical fight between a couple.
The decedent's sister and her sister's husband were engaged in a physical dispute, during which time the sister sustained a head injury. The situation escalated when the decedent became engaged in a physical altercation with her brother-in-law. That conversation then shifted to a physical fight between the decedent and her brother-in-law's sister.
Police say Bloom Security responded to the disturbance in the parking lot and began assisting the woman with the head injury. That's when they say Fields pulled out a weapon on the security guard.
The security guard drew his firearm and instructed her to back away. He then determined the object was a wrench and attempted to reholster his weapon. The decedent dropped the wrench, continued toward the security guard, and removed a handgun.
Witnesses reported Fields was just 1 to 2 feet away when she raised her gun. The security guard then fired, striking her 6 times.
The second woman, who was injured earlier during the physical altercation, was inadvertently struck in the leg by gunfire.
Barron says the guns were legally registered to both the security guard, whose gun is seen here on the left, and Fields, her firearm, is on the right. Earlier this week, 7 News Detroit spoke with nearby residents who say Bloom Lounge has become a problem.
It's a disturbance over there. The club has become very disruptive.
Chief Barron says next steps include talking to those residents as well as the owners of the lounge.
To address some of the concerns associated with this incident and then just the nature of, bars and restaurants as a whole.
In Southfield, Carly Petrus, 7 News, Detroit.
Carly, thank you so much.
Suspects D'Angelo Brown.
Howdy, y'all. I just wanted to take a little second and, just a little memoir for the day. I'm no Dr. Phil. I'm no Steve Wilkos. I'm no crystal ball reader. I'm no I'm no professional. But in my opinion, I would have to say we suffer more in imagination in this world than we do in reality. That's just yours truly's opinion. Again, I didn't say I'm just yours truly. But that's my memoir for the day.
Jr. of Sterling Heights and Amaju Dozier of Auburn Hills.
They are part of a group called Exit 218.
And preparing to race from the scene in the white BMW X5, detectives say is suspect Romello Johnson of Harper Woods in the orange hat.
Is part of a group called 700.
Real blood, real bodies, I'm like 5'8". Chopstick, this bitch big as good, it's like 5'10". Light skin, this bitch bad as fuck, I'm finna dive in. I just bought a fully draped in a stripe.
3-year-old Amaju Dozier, 22-year-old D'Angelo Brown, and 23-year-old Romello Johnson, all charged with assault with intent to murder.
One of the FBI's top priorities is focusing on preventing, investigating, and crushing violent crime.
These niggas ain't no shit, it's on 700, you can dive, you don't say slim. We can get it bragging, but it's been a train, it's 2021, it ain't no scratch. Started on the road, caught a hop and left his shit on last.
What's up, family? Welcome back to Midwest Rumors, man. Make sure you get in here, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel expeditiously. And listen, hype the video for the boy, right? We the fastest growing.
So this happened a couple days ago. This is Detroit rapper 700 Mello, who got into a shootout at the gas station, as y'all could see. Detroit is known for our, rappers. A lot of good rappers done come up out of Detroit, male and female. Shout out to Detroit for the music. We standing on business. But this happened a couple days ago, and Detroit rapper 700 Mello gets in a shootout at a gas station. And of course, they're in the hood, y'all. They in the hood with it. They banging in the hood with it always. Welcome to Detroit City.
probably the biggest platform coming out of Michigan right now, man, when it comes to this music, crime, documentary shit, bro. So make sure y'all tap into the channel and keep us in the algorithm, right? So let's get it going, right? Because today we speak on the Lil Melo shooting. Now they can throw some dollars out there to get an I-6, all of that shit, right? So let's get it. Now, reports would state that 3 men have been charged following a shooting at a gas station in Southfield that left 2 innocent bystanders injured. The shooting happened at a BP gas station on Southfield Road, just south of I-696 freeway. According to Southfield police, 2 separate groups encountered each other at the gas station and began exchanging gunfire both inside and outside the store while customers and employees were present, right? It go on to say that
I'm just going to pause it right there. Look at the age. 23, 22, 23. Shit. I remember I got married at 21. Man, that's young. That's young. 21 is 13 years ago for me. A lot of shit can happen in 13 years. By golly, they're going to miss out on a lot. All these YNs around here doing just dumb shit. Doing dumb shit in my Ice Cube voice. All these YNs doing dumb shit, man. Come on, we got to do better. Well, when you know better, you definitely do better. So, if you want to do better, you got to know better.
2 innocent bystanders were struck by bullets. 1 man was shot in the arm and another man was shot in the abdomen. Both were taken to the hospital and are okay. Southfield Police Chief Elvin Barron said investigators worked for weeks tracking the suspects across multiple cities and states. We knew where they were, said the police, the whole time. We were tracking their movement as we...
What if you find yourself one day left out of a loved one's will? Or maybe you need help setting up or managing a will, trust, or estate plan? How do you find a lawyer who can help? Legal Match is a free and easy way to find the will, trust, or estate planning lawyer you need. Go to www.legalmatch.com. Provide some details about your problem by answering a few simple questions. Qualified will, trust, and estate planning lawyers near you will contact you to help. You will be able to see the reviews, applicable fees, and contact details. Choose the lawyer you feel is the most capable of handling your case. All Legal Match member attorneys are pre-screened, licensed, and in good standing with their state bar association. Post your case now. Legal Match. It's the best free, secure, and confidential way to find the right will, trust, and estate lawyer for your legal needs.
Why is filing your taxes with Free Tax USA different? Well, for starters, our
built our case. Police said 1 suspect fled to Dallas, Texas, right, while the others hid in surrounding Michigan communities. The 3 suspects charged are Amanju Dozier, 23 of Auburn Hills, D'Angelo Brown Jr., 22 of Sterling Heights, and Romello Johnson, 23 of Harper Woods. Authorities say the investigation involved multiple agencies, including the FBI, Michigan State Police, ATF, and several regional gang and violent crime task force, man. Do I gotta read that over? Authorities say the investigation involved multiple agencies, including the FBI, man, and the ATF. Y'all gotta understand what's going on here. They are building a case. A RICO is coming for these boys, bro. Because ain't no way the FBI just got involved over a random gas station shooting. No, bro, they've been involved, right?
We got another RICO case. Oh, man. Yeah, he's got a good point. You know, why would the FBI just jump right on this motherfucker, you know? By golly. Yeah. I might have to agree with dog.
That's why they say we knew where they were at the whole time. We've been tracking them. One was in Texas. The other one was in surrounding Michigan communities, right? Authorities say the investigation involved multiple agencies, including the FBI, man. So if they watching them, guarantee they watching 264, 42, Cash Gang. They watching all of you niggas, man. They building a case, man. And when they come down, bro, they gonna come down hard. Do you hear me? Listen what they say. The chief said the suspects were not Southfield residents and were believed to be involved in gang-related activity.
Yeah, man, Detroit, this city needs to get it together. Shit. I can't wait for the day to get up out of here. I cannot wait to get up out of Detroit. Because it's diabolical here, man. This is just a lot of senseless violence. A lot of senseless violence, man, around this mug. I don't understand. Prayers for Detroit, y'all. Let's pray for Detroit.
Believe that you're going to suffer in jail. Oh, you're not going to make it. They're going to get you. They will. You're going to pay for what you did to her. You will.
Tonight on The Edge, a Southfield babysitter who killed an autistic toddler by smashing her head into a bathtub is sentenced now for her brutal crime.
March 18th, 2024. A Monday morning in Detroit, Michigan. Paris England walked into a bedroom to pick up her daughter, Harmony. She expected to see her baby girl ready to come home. Instead, she found her lying motionless in bed. She was already dead from the moment I got there, Paris would later say. Harmony had been left with a family friend the day before, not a stranger.
Detroit. What? Man, it's pandemonium all through all the years. I don't know. I don't know if Detroit can do better. Shit. Some things don't change. Some things do. Some things never change.
Not someone from an app. A woman Paris had known and trusted for decades. A woman who had babysat Harmony plenty of times before, without any problems. But
Man, one of my favorite tattoos on me is a scroll, and it says, Lord, protect me from my friends, because I can handle my enemies. Woo-wee. That's my favorite tattoo on me. Lord, please protect me from my friends, because I can handle my enemies.
on Sunday, March 17th, 2024, something went terribly wrong. 3 hours. That's all it took. 3 hours for trust to turn into betrayal. 3 hours for a babysitting day to end in murder. What happened?
Another thing, love and trust, you got to build it, but it goes so fast. It goes so fast. 3 hours, decades of trust and love gone like that. By golly, this is America.
Happened in that house? What could make someone hurt a defenseless 3-year-old child who couldn't even speak? And how did no one know until it was too late? Before we get into what happened during those 3 hours, I need to ask you something. Have you ever left your child with someone you trusted completely? Someone you'd known for years? Maybe a family friend, a neighbor, or a relative? Drop your state or country in the comments below, because this story out of Detroit.
At this point, I think all of us are pretty much gambling even with our baby mamas and baby daddies. Because you never fucking know. Even if you could sit here and say to me, JJ, but I really, really know my baby daddy or I know my baby mama. No, you don't. Only God does. So that tells me you're trying to be God again. And you know how I feel about people who try to be God. So, it's 2026. This is America. Because remember, Lord, protect me from my friends. Because I can handle my enemies. You know? By golly. This is America. But I thought we were making it great again. Huh?
Michigan could happen anywhere. He described her as a girl at the center of this cases that demands tragedy. Tragedy can never forget. Now, let me tell you about the little girl at the center of this tragedy. Harmony Henderson was 3 years old. She had the biggest smile you would ever see. Her family described her as full of life, full of love, and full of laughter. When you looked at her face, you saw her father, Marquise Henderson. She had his features, his beautiful brown eyes. Her mother, Paris, England, would fix her hair with love and care, styling it in different ways that made her look even more adorable. But Harmony faced challenges that most 3-year-olds don't have to deal with. She had autism. She was nonverbal, which means she couldn't speak. She couldn't say, "Mama," or "I'm hungry," or "That hurts." She couldn't cry out for help if something was wrong. She couldn't tell anyone if she was scared or in pain. She communicated in her own way, and her family understood her. They knew what she needed. They knew how to take care of her. Harmony didn't bother anyone. She was just a little girl living her life, being loved by her parents, who were doing everything they could to provide for her. Paris and Marquise were working parents trying to make it in Detroit. Anyone who has raised children knows how expensive childcare can be. When you have a child with special needs, the costs go even higher. You need someone who understands autism. You need someone patient. You need someone you can trust completely. For Paris and Marquise,
And in my opinion, a lot of us out there, a lot more people out there really need Jesus. That's just my opinion. By golly, you know, this is America.
that person was Isha Harris. She wasn't just some random babysitter they found online. This was a family friend, someone they had known for decades. Not months, not a few years. Decades. That's the kind of trust we're talking about here. The kind of trust where you don't even question it anymore. It's automatic. It's family. Yesha Harris had babysat Harmony plenty of times before. There had never been any problems, no red flags, no...
By golly, her last name is a common-ass last name in this here city of Detroit. But, we can all agree that anyone tied to that last name, related or not, we're listening to a horrible story. So, yeah, I'm just gonna say that. Crazy. Common name around this motherfucker in Detroit, but, we keep seeing this common-ass name and these diabolical-ass stories. Crazy work. By golly, this is America.
Warning signs. Nothing that would make Paris or Marquise think twice about leaving their daughter with her. Harmony had stayed with Isha before and come home safe every single time. So when Paris needed someone to watch Harmony on Sunday, March 17th, 2024, calling Isha was the obvious choice. It was supposed to be just another normal day. Drop Harmony off in the morning, go handle business, pick her up later. Simple, safe, routine. But March 17th, 2024, was not going to be a normal day. Everything was about to change in the worst way possible. Isha Harris was 30 years old. She lived in Southfield, Michigan, not far from Detroit. She had her own 1-year-old daughter, which meant she was a mother herself. She knew what it took to care for a baby. She knew how vulnerable small children are. She knew they depend on adults to protect them, feed them, and keep them safe. That's what made what she did so hard to understand. But there were things about Aisha that Paris didn't fully know, things that were hidden beneath the surface. Aisha was a habitual marijuana user. She would later admit to police that she smoked weed regularly, even around children. She told investigators it just made her lazy, but claimed she could still take care of kids while high. She didn't see it as a problem. Aisha had no criminal record. There was nothing in her past that would have warned Paris or Marquise that their daughter was in danger. No arrests, no history of violence, no reports of child abuse. Nothing. That's the terrifying part of this story. Sometimes
Allegedly, because where's your receipts to back that up, my guy? Because how do you know? He must be the popo too. Yeah, he must be the popo. Because how do you know? But damn, y'all, this is crazy work. By golly, crazy work. In the year of 2026, this is America, and by golly, I thought we were making it great again. What? I thought we were. But let's keep listening, y'all. Let's keep listening, folks.
Sometimes the people we trust the most are hiding things we never see until it's too late. Sometimes there are no warning signs, no red flags waving in your face telling you to stay away. How do you know someone for decades and not realize what they're capable of? How do you look at a person you've trusted for years and never suspect?
By golly, I'm going to say it again. My favorite tattoo on me. Lord, protect me from my friends, because I can handle my enemies. And I'd have to say, just yours truly's opinion, in America, 2026, by golly, you couldn't tell me. Well, I know my baby mama. I know my baby daddy. Because, Lord, protect me from my friends, because I can handle my enemies. That part. By golly.
They could hurt your child? That's the question that haunted Paris, England, after March 17th, 2024, because on that Sunday, the Aisha Harris that Paris thought she knew disappeared. And the real Aisha Harris, the one capable of unthinkable violence, came out. That Sunday morning, Paris, England dropped Harmony off at Aisha Harris's home on Detroit's west side. It was routine. Nothing felt different or wrong. Paris probably kissed her daughter goodbye and told her she'd be back soon, the way any parent does when they leave their child with someone they trust. There were 2 children in the house that day, Harmony, who was 3 years old, and Aisha's own daughter, who was 1 year old. 2 toddlers who needed care, attention, and supervision. Basic things that any responsible adult should provide. Paris had no reason to worry. This wasn't the first time. This wasn't even the 10th time. Aisha had watched Harmony plenty of times before. Everything had always been fine. But this time was different. Aisha Harris had other plans that day. She wanted to get high. She had a friend come over, and they wanted to smoke marijuana together. But she had 2 babies in her care, 2 small children who couldn't take care of themselves. So Aisha made a choice. She took both toddlers, Harmony and her own daughter, and locked them in a bedroom. Then she shut the door, went to another room.
By golly, I wonder why I didn't hear about this. Oh, another PSA for those who weren't here earlier. On Wednesday, the 28th, yours truly will be in the courtroom covering Kelly Bryant. Her pretrial will begin at 1:30 in Pontiac, Michigan, Oakland County, and I will be covering the story. I'll be bringing you the report from yours truly. Just want to let y'all know, Kelly Bryant will be in court on Wednesday, 1:30, and I'll be out there in Oakland County with my boots on the ground. Salute, 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 because I got my boots on the ground, Hell yeah, by golly, this is America.
And spent 3 full hours smoking weed with her friend. 3 hours. Think about how long that is.
Hell no, by golly, you're not about to blame this on weed. Oh, no, you're not. Oh, no, you're not. Never. No. You lying. You know she had more than weed just in her system. Yeah, she might have had weed up in her system too, but not just weed. The only 3 side effects: hungry, happy, sleepy. That's it. That's all. Don't do that to Mary Jane. You better put some respect on her name. Because I'm in love with Mary Jane. So put some respect on her name.
3 hours is enough time to watch a movie. 3 hours is half of a work shift. For a 3-year-old child, 3 hours feels like forever.
What work shift? What work shift is well, actually, kind of. I'd be only working 6 hours sometimes because, yeah. Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, you're welcome. By golly, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Harmony was locked in that room, unable to get out. She couldn't call for help because she was nonverbal. She couldn't knock on the door and say, "I need water," or "I'm scared," or "Please let me out." She was trapped. Maybe.
And by golly, I stand on him. Lil JJ will not be going to public school. He will not be going to... Nope. You're crazy. That dude be right here by my side all the time. And, yeah. Lil JJ will not ever attend a daycare. He will not be going to public school, nor private, not a motherfucking charter school. So... I'm gonna be a teacher too. Add that to my resume. By golly. I hope that I can experience at least all these titles out here before, I croak. Cause wisdom is power. Knowledge is power. And wisdom and knowledge are different, Wow. So by golly. Lil JJ, no school for you, baby. No public anything unless you... Nope. So, we will be adding teacher to yours truly's, resume. Amongst a bunch of other things. And yes.
She was frightened. Maybe she was confused about why she was locked away. Maybe she needed something and had no way to ask for it. We'll never know exactly what she felt during those 3 hours, but we know.
Oh yeah, and salute. Kenyatta, thanks for pulling up on yours truly and the biggest I know, I hope you're being real smooth with it, cool with it, and most importantly, as true as you can be with it, Salute.
No, she was neglected, abandoned, left alone, while the person who was supposed to watch her got high in another room. This was already a crime. Locking children away to smoke weed is criminal neglect. But what happened next was so much worse. At some point during those 3 hours, Harmony got sick. She threw up on herself. This is something toddlers do. It happens. Maybe she was stressed from being locked in a room for so long. Maybe she was scared. Maybe her body was reacting to the fear and confusion. Whatever the reason, she vomited. Any decent caregiver would have cleaned her up, would have comforted her, would have checked to make sure she was okay. Some would have called the parents and said, "Hey, your daughter just threw up. You should come get her." But Isha Harris didn't do any of those things. Instead, she got angry. She got frustrated. And what she did next is unforgivable. Isha took Harmony to the bathroom. She put her in the bathtub, and then she poured scalding hot water on Harmony's face and head. Hot water. Hot enough to burn her skin. Hot enough to leave marks. Hot enough to cause terrible pain. Harmony couldn't scream the way other children would. She was nonverbal. She couldn't say, "Stop." She couldn't say, "Please." She couldn't say, "It hurts." She couldn't beg for mercy. She was completely defenseless against this attack. But Isha didn't stop there. She took Harmony's head and smashed it into the side of the bathtub, not once. Multiple times. Hard enough to cause blunt force trauma to her skull. Hard enough to kill a 3-year-old child. Harmony didn't understand.
Wow. And by golly, Lord, protect me from my friends, 'cause I can handle my enemies. Betrayal in the instant. From decades of built what they thought was a great friendship. You know, crazy work. Yeah, oh no, by golly, oh no. You know? This is America. And I thought we were making it great again, by golly.
Understand what was happening or why. All she knew was pain. All she knew was that the person who was supposed to take care of her was hurting her. And there was nothing she could do to make it stop. She couldn't fight back. She couldn't run away. She couldn't even ask why.
In my big M voice, mental health is real. Too real. So real. Don't forget about it. Take care of your mental health, everybody. Don't forget. Because by golly, it's super important.
After the attack, Isha just left her. She didn't call 911. She didn't call Paris. She didn't call anyone. She just left that little girl suffering. Later that day, Paris, England, did what any mother would do. She was at work, but she wanted to check on her daughter. She wanted to see Harmony's face and make sure everything was okay. So she video called Isha Harris. When Isha answered that call, Harmony was still alive. But she was badly hurt. She was dying. The injuries Isha had inflicted on her were fatal. Harmony needed emergency medical help immediately. Every minute that passed without treatment was a minute closer to death. But when Ayesha looked into that camera, when she looked straight at Paris's face, she lied. She told Paris that Harmony had fallen down the stairs. She said Harmony had bumped her head, but everything was okay. Nothing to worry about. Just a little accident. Paris saw Harmony through the screen. Her daughter looked injured, but Isha was saying she was fine. Paris had known this woman for decades. She had trusted her with Harmony's life many times before. That night, somewhere in the dark hours, Harmony Henderson took her last breath. She died alone. She died in pain. She died in a house that wasn't hers, with a woman who had just beaten her. And Isha Harris said nothing, did nothing, just let it happen. The next morning, Monday, March 18th, 2024, Paris, England showed up at Isha's house to pick up her daughter. She walked into that bedroom expecting to see Harmony ready to come home, maybe still sleepy from the night before, maybe excited to see her mama, maybe ready for breakfast. Instead, she found her baby lying there in bed. motionless, cold, gone. She was already dead from the moment I got there, Paris said. Just like that, a 3-year-old girl who had been alive and healthy just 2 days before was now dead. A little girl who had her whole life ahead of her. A little girl who loved and laughed and smiled. Gone. And 911 still hadn't been called. Even after Harmony died, even after it was clear she was gone, Isha Harris had not called for help. She had let that child die and said nothing to anyone. Paris and Isha rushed Harmony to the hospital, but it was too late. Way too late. There was nothing the doctors could do. Harmony Henderson was pronounced dead at the hospital. The medical staff knew immediately that something was wrong. These weren't injuries from a simple fall down the stairs like Isha had claimed. These were serious injuries. Burns, blunt force trauma. The kind of injuries that come from violence. The hospital contacted the Detroit Police Department, and that's when the truth started to come out. When Detroit police questioned Isha Harris, she confessed. She told them everything. She admitted that she had locked both children, Harmony and her own daughter, in a bedroom. She admitted that she had spent 3 hours in another room smoking marijuana with a friend. She admitted that when she came back and found that Harmony had thrown up on herself, she lost her temper. She told police that she took Harmony to the bathroom. She admitted pouring scalding hot water on top of the 3-year-old. She admitted smashing Harmony's head against the side of the bathtub. Assistant prosecutor Jennifer Douglas later said in court, Miss Harris allegedly admitted to police she poured scalding water on top of the 3-year-old and slammed her head against the side of the bathtub. Isha Harris confessed to it all. She told police exactly what she had done to Harmony Henderson. On March 20th, 2024, 3 days after Harmony died, Isha Harris was arrested. She was charged with felony murder and first-degree child abuse. These are serious charges. First-degree child abuse alone is punishable by up to life in prison. When Isha appeared in court for her arraignment, the judge remanded her to custody. That means she was held in jail without bond. She wasn't going anywhere. She would stay locked up until her case was resolved. The same day as Isha's arraignment was the day of Harmony's viewing. While Harmony's family was saying goodbye to her, preparing for her funeral, the woman who killed her was being charged with murder. Captain Carter made it clear to the public that if anyone ever feels overwhelmed or frustrated while caring for children, they should call the police. We would rather get a call than have something like this happen, Captain Carter said. But Isha Harris never...
Man, dog. Man, that poor mom, man. Woo-wee! Again, by golly, Lord, protect me from my enemies. Because I can handle. Oh, my bad. Protect me from my friends, Lord, by golly. Because I can handle my enemies, you know. Wow. Prayers for that mother, man. Coming up in March will be the year anniversary for her. So, it's real fresh. The wound is still real fresh. You know, praying for her. That poor baby. But this is America, and by golly, I thought we were making it great again. I'm gonna have to slap on my knee a couple times, by golly. This is some bullshit.
Made that call. And now, a 3-year-old girl was dead. Marquise Henderson, Harmony's father, had to do something no parent should ever have to do. He had to sit down and read his daughter's autopsy report. He had to read the medical details of how his 3-year-old daughter died. He had to see the words written down in black and white, describing the injuries that killed her. His voice broke as he spoke the words out loud. Blunt force trauma, Marquise said. Blunt force trauma. A 3-year-old autistic baby.
Blunt force trauma. Blunt force trauma. A 3-year-old autistic baby.
Is hard. heartbreaking, Detroit. That's so heartbreaking, Detroit. We got to do better, man. But, you know, sometimes things don't get better. But I hope things can get better, because, by golly, I thought we were making America great again. And I thought we all wanted a change, in my MJ voice.
That's what killed his daughter. Blunt force trauma to her skull. From being smashed into the side of a bathtub by someone who was supposed to be taking care of her. Paris, England, was replaying everything in her mind over and over again. Marquise spoke about the pain that wouldn't go away. "I done cried so much, I don't even know if there's no more tears left," he said. The guilt of trusting the wrong person. The horror of knowing that Harmony suffered, and they couldn't stop it, because they didn't know it was happening. The knowledge that their daughter died alone, in pain, scared, and they weren't.
Again, Lord, protect me from my friends, because I can handle my enemies. You know? Wow. Decades of lots of laughs, memories, and trust. You know that word trust, loyalty, built and gone like that. By golly, this is America.
Weren't there to protect her. That's the burden Paris and Marquise will carry for the rest of their lives. 2 weeks before her trial was supposed to start, Aisha Harris made a decision. She decided to take a plea deal. She pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. In exchange for that guilty plea, the felony murder and first-degree child abuse charges were dropped. This meant she would face a lesser sentence than if she had gone to trial and been convicted on all charges. Why did she take the deal? Because she knew the evidence was stacked against her. She knew her own confession had sealed her fate. She had admitted everything to the police. She had told them exactly what she did to Harmony Henderson. She knew that if a jury heard her confession, if they saw the autopsy photos, if they heard from Harmony's parents, they would want to throw her under the prison. So instead of facing a trial, she admitted her guilt and hoped for mercy. The sentencing hearing was set for May 29th, 2025. Harmony's family was ready. They were ready to face Aisha Harris in court. Ready to tell her exactly what they thought about what she had done. Ready to look her in the eyes and make sure she understood the pain she had caused. But Aisha...
Oh, by golly, did y'all see all them brown uniforms in that motherfucking courtroom? Oh, yeah. Oh, shout out to that family, stand on business. For their family, for their loved one, for that shorty. You know? Wow. I'm gonna run it back. Wow. They had the guards all around. Lord, protect me from my friends, because I can handle my enemies. This is America, by golly. The year 2026.
Harris had other plans. When it came time for the sentencing hearing, Aisha refused to come into the courtroom. She said she didn't feel safe. She claimed it was because there were news cameras in the courtroom, and she was worried about her safety.
No, actually, it's because our Father says that the fool shall inherit shame. That's nothing but guilt and shame. And our Father told us, you know, when the fool, and you know, be the fool, you inherit nothing but shame. Look at the shame. Look at her shame and guilt. Oh yeah. You don't even want them cameras on you. You didn't even want to come in the courtroom. Yeah. Woo! That's some deep shit. But he did say it. He said, the fool shall inherit shame. So don't be out here being foolish, y'all. I'm just saying. Because our Father don't like it. It says it right in the good book, you know. It says it right in the good book. If you believe. So, prime example. The fool will always inherit shame. So, you know, don't be foolish, by golly. Even if, you know, America isn't great. Don't be foolish out here, by golly. Because you will inherit nothing but shame. It's part of your punishment.
Judge Kelly Ramsey wasn't buying it. The judge called Aisha's excuse disingenuous. That means it was dishonest. It was a lie. Judge Ramsey pointed out that this had been a press case from the very beginning. News cameras had been at Aisha's arraignment, at her preliminary hearing, at every court appearance. Aisha Harris had other 2020 admitted everything to Anderson. Harmony's parents, they would want to facing a trial. She admitted her guilt and hoped for mercy. The sentencing hearing was set for May 29th, 2025. Harmony's family was ready. They were ready to face Aisha Harris in court, ready to tell her exactly what they thought about what she had done.
By golly, I know that attorney. That I seen her defense. She's a public defender. I seen her in the courtroom multiple times. You know, she works for Riggins and them. You know, look at them officers. Because you know why? Her family cares about her. Look at the motherfucker, man. That little girl family standing on motherfucking business. Busy honest. Oh man, oh man. I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, that's how you stand on business for your shorty or your loved one. But again, I'm no crystal ball reader. I'm no Dr. Phil. I'm no lawyer. I'm just yours truly. So I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Ready to look her in the eyes and make sure she understood the pain she had caused. But Aisha Harris had other plans. When it came time for the sentencing hearing, Aisha refused to come into the courtroom. She said she didn't feel safe. She claimed it was because there were news cameras in the courtroom, and she was worried about her safety. Judge Kelly Ramsey wasn't buying it. The judge called Aisha's excuse disingenuous.
Man, I promise you, she knew them for decades. Cause you just heard him say that you're a liar. They've been in here. No, the only thing is you gonna have to look your best friend. You gonna have to listen to her victim statement. But if you're, you know, evil enough to do that to a shorty, you can't sit there and listen to what she has to say. Or the other family, or you know that they just don't give, you know, and someone might fly over that motherfucking bench and start whooping on you. Because you know how they get down, because they care about their age. Right? Because I know for damn facts, you do anything like that to my shorty, you better hope you got that many motherfucking brown men in that courtroom. I promise you. Shout out to that family for being normal. We got to start shouting out normal because the unnorm is becoming, you know, the new in. So shout out to the normal. We got to start recognizing them because we're recognizing unnormal way too much. So we got to start recognizing normal. I know, but by golly, this is what it is. It's America, 2026. By golly, it's just what we got to do. So shout out for you being normal, man. You know, because everyone likes to just shout out to unnormal, you know. But shout out to y'all. Standing on business for that baby girl and being normal.
That means it was dishonest. It was a lie. Judge Ramsey pointed out that this had been a press case from the very beginning. News cameras had been at Aisha's arraignment, at her preliminary hearing, at every court appearance. Her face was already known to the public. So why was she suddenly afraid of cameras now? The real reason was simple. Isha Harris didn't want to face Harmony's family. She didn't want to look at Paris, England, and see the pain in her eyes.
Damn, well, by golly, I'll be darned. Because I'm just watching this with y'all. I knew it. I knew it. Again, but I'm no lawyer. I'm no psychic. I'm no crystal ball reader. You know, I just yours truly. I'm no Steve Wilkos. I just, you know, got a brain, you know, and I use it sometimes. Sometimes I don't, because I'm only human.
After some back and forth, Fox 2 News agreed to blur Isha's face in their coverage. Only then did Isha finally agree to come into the courtroom. The family finally got their chance to speak. Paris, England addressed the court. She was only 3. She barely said a couple words. She didn't bother nobody. Just the thought that she suffered. I can't get that out my mind. She suffered. Judge Ramsey held up a piece of paper. It was Isha's so-called apology letter. The judge pointed out that it was only 6 sentences long. 6 sentences. That's all Isha Harris wrote after taking a child's life. Barely reaches an apology, Judge Ramsey said. Nobody in that courtroom was buying Isha's weak attempt at remorse. Judge Kelly Ramsey sentenced Isha Harris to 28 to 50 years in prison. At the earliest, she would be eligible for
28 years is the minimum? You know, White Boy Rick in Detroit did way more than 28 years just for some good old Mary Jane. Crazy work. Crazy fucking work. Fucking crazy. Life with no parole. We need to make a law. We need to change the law. Like, if you unalive a shorty, especially a shorty that has learning disabilities or disabilities, you're not getting a minimum of 28 fucking years. That's crazy. But by golly, this is America. 2026. By golly.
parole when she was 58 years old. That's almost 3 decades behind bars. The family made sure Isha knew what was waiting for her in prison. Child killers don't have it easy behind bars. Other inmates know what you did. They know you hurt a baby. And they don't take kindly to people who hurt children. Yasha would have...
That statement is bold. What are those people in there for that don't like child unalivers doing life? Because this bitch should be doing life. But her minimum's 28 years. By golly, this is America. And I'll be damned. We gotta do better.
To watch her back every single day. Every day would be a struggle. The hearing ended. Yasha was let out in handcuffs. The family left emotionally drained but relieved that the legal part was finally over. 28 to 50 years. Is that enough? Some people would say no amount of time could ever be enough for what Isha Harris did to Harmony.
Yeah, by golly, in my opinion, not enough. You know, she was 3 years old. She was nonverbal. She didn't do nothing to you. And you, 20 minimum. She could get out in 28 years. Again, white boy Rick in Detroit. Kim Worthy. He threw the book at him for marijuana. He did more time than a lot of these unalivers. Yeah. That's just the good old, by golly, Detroit way. Because, you better not be making no money out here in Detroit. So, you making money on the side and didn't let us know? Because that's our fucking money, because we're so corrupt. We're going to throw the book at you. Anything that involves drugs, book thrown at you. Again, you can hold grape a shorty and do 1.5 years. Depends on how Kim Worthy's feeling that day, you know? But by golly, this is Detroit and this is America. By golly, are we going to get a change? Because I thought we were making America great again, by golly.
What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think the sentence was fair, or should it have been harsher? This case shook Detroit to its core. It made people realize that you can trust someone for decades and still not know what they're capable of. But Harmony's story doesn't have to be in vain. There are painful lessons here that could save lives. First, vet everyone, even people you call family. Background checks aren't just for strangers. For special needs children, confirm that caregivers have experience with autism. Nonverbal children can't report abuse. Use licensed daycares when possible. Second, watch for warning signs. Substance use around children is a major concern. If someone is evasive when you call to check in, that's a problem. Trust your gut. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Third, understand that any intoxication impairs the ability to care for children. Aisha spent 3 hours getting high while children were locked away. If you're overwhelmed while caring for someone else's child, call the parents or call the police.
By golly, I hope y'all heard him and comprehended it. You know, because sometimes I know we be listening, we be hearing a lot of shit. You know, but yeah. But yeah, y'all, we gonna end it. I'm gonna end it like I always do, in my Winnie the Poohsky voice. You know, you're smarter than you think, you're braver than you believe, and you're stronger than you seem. You know. So yeah, y'all, you know, remember to be real smooth out there, real cool out there, and 100% as true as you can be out there. You know, it's all love over here. It's all real over here, you know? Until next time. Be smooth, y'all. In my big invoice. Peace.